It's been an embarrassing couple of days for Tony Khan, and he's been embarrassed by the NFL. Well, back to Fog Wrestling. It was all going so well for Tony Khan. Well, apart from it wasn't, because it was awful. The selling was atrocious, the ratings were god awful, and now the NFL, it looked like the NFL were putting Tony Khan, they were putting him over. And then they've delivered a punch and a pile driver of their own right at the end of their statement. Because a lot of people wanted Tony Khan to rep his inner Christopher Moltisanti. They wanted him to come out wearing the neck brace, the jacket. They wanted to see the neck brace. Tony Khan, if you, well, I don't follow on Twitter, but hell, I spend a decent amount of time, reacting to his tweets here on YouTube. I do. He does like his Soprano references and his gifs and all that good stuff. So I'm actually kind of surprised that he didn't rep this. But the official NFL website have covered the incident. Here's an excerpt from the article. Tony Khan's status for the Jacksonville Jaguars 2024 NFL obligations could be questionable. Khan, the Jags' chief football strategy officer and the founder, owner and booker of AEW, took a punch to the gut in a Meltzer driver pile driver Wednesday night live on AEW Dynamite from Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. Shahid Khan, whatever, Tony's father and the owner of the Jaguars took to the ring to check on his son in the aftermath of the drama. Now, if we ended it there, you might be thinking, that's good. Now, the NFL are actually recognising this. NFL, massive. You can't take away the size of the NFL. This could get some mainstream attention to AEW. This could seriously boost them potentially. Because, being mainstream's good. Back in the day, wrestling was mainstream. If you look like commercials across the board, like slapping down a Slim Jim, all that good stuff. Sting, I remember his adverts back in the day. Even like the Super Bowl advert for Raw's War, was it 99? That's an epic, iconic moment. Even like McMahon trying to create the XFL, yeah, it flopped, but it's because he had the cojones at the time. Wrestling was mainstream back in the late 90s, early 2000s. But then, now, it's a joke. And the NFL, despite half attempting, well, I wouldn't say they were attempting to put Tony Khan over, they were simply just addressing what happened to him. They then kind of just buried him in the next sentence, as they say. It's all part of an angle. Professional wrestling storyline, of course. But it was shocking nonetheless, as Tony Khan has never been physically involved in AEW to that extent, and his father's appearance added more realism to the stunning end of the show. So yeah, it's like they put over, he got attacked, he got punched to the gut, he took a Meltzer driver, and then they're like, but don't worry guys, it's fake, it's not real, it's part of an angle, it's wrestling, of course, it's not real. It's still shocking, but it's not real, damn it. And yeah, a lot of people have been questioning our terminology. You can't call it fake. You wouldn't say it's fake. The Haku's fake. What is Haku? If someone wants to fly Haku over from the Isle of Samoa to my front door, I'll say it to his face, but I don't think that's going to happen. Alright. A lot of people, though, there's been a meltdown on Twitter about this. They're like, it might have been a cool thing, but they've ruined it. The last paragraph was added, and it's ruined it. It's 2024. Everyone knows kayfabe doesn't exist. We've got other people saying, I really wish the NFL didn't include the last line. It would have been great if the other NFL GMs were questioning why Tony Khan's own executives and contract employees put him in a wheelchair and full body cast. But again, right? Wrestling, yes, NFL's mainstream, right? But if this was back in the day, and say McMahon owned an NFL team back in the day, I could absolutely see them questioning it on air, but seeing that during this draft, this isn't going to get a mention. I'm actually surprised the NFL even mentioned it. I mean, we're talking about a show that just did less than 700,000 views. The numbers are pish. No one cares what's going on in AEW. And I don't even know what's going on. It's like they're trying their best to be WWE. Like Swerve Strickland, right? Won the belt at the pay-per-view. And he doesn't even get a promo on Dynamite. He just gets a fucking throwaway title eliminator match against Kyle Fletcher. How's that any way to book your champion? As much as, Cody Rhodes has cut repetitive promos, could you imagine, the night after Mania 40, Cody Rhodes just comes out and wrestles a match against Akira Tozawa, and that's it? There's no, celebration with Triple H. There's no like, here's your belt. There's no promo. There's no aftermath with The Rock. It's just a match with some fucking jobber. It makes no sense. Tony Khan, I think he's lost his marbles. But Pat McAfee, of course, who loves the NFL, damn it. Pat McAfee has addressed it. And he says this about the incident because apparently Tony Khan was seen in the Jacksonville Jaguars war room wearing a neck brace. So apparently he's been wearing it. Um, Pat McAfee said that Tony Khan had a broken neck, but he was battling through it. And the co-host said, I understand keeping up with the gimmick. So I want you to tell Tony Khan to have a neck brace on. Don't fucking move around like nothing's wrong. Stick with the gimmick and look straight ahead like your neck's broken yet. Like, you know, if you're wearing a neck brace, you're defeating the purpose when you're moving like you're not. You know, it'd be like walking down the street with crutches but not using the crutches. It just it makes no sense, and it's like Tony Khan. He's a lover of pro wrestling, and he's the worst fucking seller I've ever seen. You know, I just I don't get it. I don't get the guy. You would have thought like he would actually put a bit of time and effort into the psychology. Well, I say the psychology. People in AEW don't know what psychology is, but you think Tony Khan would actually have put a bit of effort in to try and like make this attack perfect, but it's a mess. Like, and I've seen people compare it to Vince at Mania 38 or whatever it was. Vince is in his mid 70s, right? He actually just had a match, right, which was awful, by the way. I'm not going to pretend it was good, but it's like Vince is in his mid 70s, right? He had a few drinks, and they actually it was it was fucking awful. But it's to me it's incomparable comparing Vince and Tony. I mean, think of the matches alone that Vince McMahon's gave us when he was older than Tony Khan anyway. So people need to seriously wise up, man, and stop comparing Tony Khan at like 41 and Vince McMahon at like 77 because it's incomparable, right? I mean, there's a massive difference. If people can't see the difference, then I'm sorry. I mean, I'd like to see people taking bumps when they're 77. I mean, look at McMahon against like Hogan, against Austin and all the bumps he's taken, fucking flying off steel cages, leg drops through tables and all. The guy is a genetic jackhammer. He's took some insane spots. You know, Tony Khan. I mean, he couldn't even take a punch to the stomach and make it look half decent. He planked out like he died. And yeah, that's where we're going to leave it, guys. The NFL, Cara Berry, Tony Khan, and Pat McAfee with the final nail in said coffin.